my friends, how's it going? It's Ultimus, and we are back with more 2v2 arenas with my new buddy, Parsimony. This time we are up against a Fire Mage Shadow Priest. Now, Mage Shadow Priest works really well together. Fire does just fine. Frost is a little bit better because Frost provides more of the peels and CC that Shadow needs to sustain itself. But they're pretty much going ham right off the bat. You can see the Mindbender's out already from the Shadow Priest. Although they're not in such a great place because the Priest has already had to pop Fade, which definitely puts them in a rough position for sure. He's just taking tons and tons of damage. The Blade Storm, the cooldowns, he's got the Dispersion up right there, and still pumping loads and loads of damage into him. Got the Trinket there, going to jump right in for the Heroic Leap Execute and make short, easy work of the Shadow Priest. Which really makes me sad and breaks my heart because I enjoy playing my Shadow Priest and I hate it when I have to do that to other people. But, you know, you just have to do what you have to do. The Mage is definitely still giving it a valiant effort though, for sure, and I can appreciate that. There's one thing to be said for just being smart and not wasting your time or anybody else's time and leaving the arena when you know you've lost, but then there's another thing to be said for anybody who's willing to keep trying and just try to push your abilities to the limits. Though playing against an arms warrior and a healer definitely is a rough bout for anybody. Not necessarily because arms is overpowered or the best spec in the world, but there's something just so niche and powerful about an arms warrior with a pocket healer for sure. Blade Storm there to keep myself from being polyed, which obviously shuts the mage down. Couldn't do nothing about it. Going in for that second Heroic Leap Execute kill. Always makes me so happy. This time we're up against a rogue and a disciplined priest. Now this is a little scary for me, at least, just knowing how rogues can chew through healers if we're not careful. So I definitely want to keep an eye on my priest health and cooldowns for sure. Running in and dropping the intervene on them right off the bat because I don't want them to get opened up on super hard. But we're going to start off on the priest over there with the Stormbolt just for starters and get the fear on the rogue. It's typically how I like to start my fights off with rogues, just pop the fear right away because a lot of times they panic and will trinket. Not all the time, but either way, it puts them in a position to where they're going to take a ton of damage. Trying to take advantage of the cleave damage that I'm able to put out, again, as an arms warrior with both of them standing right there. Priest is a little farther away from him, so I can't quite capitalize on that. So just trying to lay into the rogue while keeping an eye, of course, on that priest and stunning them. So since the rogue is pretty much going straight on me, it's basically a duel between these two and who can CC the healer better because my healer is taking no damage. My healer is pretty much getting to free cast whatever she wants, not even a problem. This priest though is standing, like, again, right on top of the rogue, which is fine, I guess, because again, you don't want to lose line of sight, but against an arms warrior, it's just not the best idea. Pop the Stormbolt and the die by the sword there just to keep myself alive since my healer was CC'd. Swap into that priest for a little bit, put a little bit of pressure. Again, being able to capitalize on the fact that the priest is now going to have to choose between healing himself or the rogue, but taking advantage of the fact that the priest is running out of cooldowns basically and swapping over to the priest, trying to make a hard swap here. Once anyone gets down to about half health, I can usually capitalize on that as an arms warrior and take that chunk damage to the max. Getting caught in quite a few stuns here though, able to interrupt that last cast on the priest, and he is not in a good position even in his absorb bubble there, and it's just not going to be enough to keep him up. One thing I'm definitely glad I'm learning, and I'm not really a pro at it, but I'm learning and getting better at it, is when to effectively swap, and I'm seeing a lot of good results from that. Now, this match, I was only going to do 2 matches, but they ended up being really short, and this one was too good not to share. Usually you come up against Death Knights and healers, and it's extremely tanky, and it's just a very long, frustrating fight. But watch how quickly this Death Knight goes down. Ready? Get the Death Grip in, much to his own demise. I don't know what this Death Knight was doing. I don't know what kind of gear he was in, but the amount of damage he took was insane. And that might have been the quickest Death Knight kill I've ever landed. I can't help it. Oh, it's too funny. Anyways, guys, that's going to do it for this video. So as always, thank you so much for watching, and I'll catch you next time.